Las Vegas, a city famous for lights, noise, and nonstop action. But in 2025, something strange is happening. The Strip, once bursting with tourists and excitement, now feels eerily quiet. Casinos are half empty. Shows that once sold out weeks in advance have open seats. What caused this sudden change? Is Vegas losing its magic, or is there a hidden force behind the emptiness? Could it be that the city's quiet streets are part of a secret plan no one was supposed to see? And if so, who is really pulling the strings? Tonight, we uncover the shocking truth about why Las Vegas isn't what it used to be, and why the emptiness may be more deliberate than anyone imagined. The silent strip, Vegas like you've never seen. The bright lights of Las Vegas have always promised non-stop energy. Crowds spilling onto the sidewalks, casinos buzzing with excitement, and streets that never seem to sleep. But in 2025, something is different. The famous Strip, usually packed with tourists and performers, now looks oddly quiet. Casinos that once overflowed with players are eerily half empty. Even the neon signs, still flickering brightly, seem almost lonely against the quiet streets. And for the first time in decades, a question haunts both locals and visitors alike. Why does Las Vegas feel like a ghost town? This is not just about bad luck, an economic downturn, or a slow tourist season. The truth behind the empty streets comes from someone who truly knows the city, a former mayor of Las Vegas. In a shocking admission, they revealed that the current emptiness of the Strip is not accidental. It was planned, carefully engineered. Decisions made years ago in boardrooms and political offices, long before the public noticed any change, set the stage for what we see today. This revelation forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about Las Vegas. Was this emptiness designed to reshape the casino industry? Were secret deals made to benefit only a few powerful investors? And if a former mayor is confirming it, how deep does this hidden story go? For decades, Las Vegas was the entertainment capital of America, a city that never slept because the world never stopped coming. In the 1970s and 1980s, the Strip was alive with stars performing nightly, gamblers crowding the tables, and audiences lining up weeks in advance for shows. By the 1990s, the Strip had transformed into a glittering corridor of mega resorts, each one more extravagant than the last. The Bellagio fountains, the Pyramid of Luxor, the canals of the Venetian. These weren't just hotels. They were symbols of wealth, ambition, and the American dream itself. At its peak, Vegas welcomed more than 40 million visitors annually. Casinos earned billions, feeding a local economy built on continuous activity. Taxi drivers, bartenders, hotel clerks, dealers, and entertainers all had a stake in the machine that was Las Vegas. Residents took pride in the global fame of their city. When people thought of indulgence, danger, or escape, they thought of Vegas. But Vegas's rise was more than just about entertainment. Behind the flashing lights, the city became a hub for boxing matches, major concerts, and even political gatherings. Deals were made in casino backrooms that influenced industries far beyond Nevada. Billionaires built empires on the Strip. Celebrities cemented their names with residencies paying tens of millions. The city seemed untouchable, immune to problems affecting other American towns. The numbers back this up. In 2019, just before the world changed, Las Vegas pulled in over $36 billion in gaming and tourism revenue. Airports were flooded with international travelers. Conventions filled hotels to capacity. Even during recessions, Las Vegas seemed to bounce back, fueled by a unique mix of risk, luxury, and illusion. That is why the sight of empty streets and quiet casinos in 2025 feels surreal. To understand its significance, one must remember what Vegas represented. It was the escape valve for millions, a city where rules bent and time felt irrelevant. People saved for years just to spend a single week there, knowing it was unlike anywhere else on Earth. The city's growth was meticulously planned. Local leaders, casino magnates, and developers invested billions to keep Vegas ahead of the competition. Every decade introduced something bigger. The Mirage in 1989 redefined themed mega resorts. The Venetian in 1999 brought the romance of Venice to the Nevada desert. These projects weren't merely buildings, they were statements. Vegas would reinvent itself, and it would always win. Yet as skyscrapers reached higher, pressures mounted underneath. Competition for visitors grew ruthless. Smaller casinos were swallowed by giants. Workers were squeezed by rising costs. And while headlines celebrated the glamour, cracks began to show. By 2020, the pandemic shattered the illusion of invincibility. Still, few imagined Las Vegas could truly fall. Even at its darkest moments, the Strip always found a way to bounce back. The city in transition. So why does today feel so different? To see the heart of Las Vegas beating slower than ever raises unsettling questions. If a city once considered unstoppable can now stand half empty, what force could make that happen? The answer may not be luck or circumstance, it may be control. And as one former mayor admitted, the emptiness was never an accident. It was planned, written into the city's future long before the lights began to dim. Walking the Strip in 2025, the change is impossible to ignore. Sidewalks that once overflowed with tourists now feel spacious. On a Saturday night, when Bellagio should be buzzing and Caesar's Palace crowded, one can actually hear the echo of footsteps. Neon signs flicker, slot machines spin, but the lifeblood, the crowds, are missing. Longtime workers whisper the same thing they've never said before. A taxi driver who has been driving the Strip since the 1990s says, "Even after the 2008 financial crash, people still came. Even after 2020, when the world shut down, the Strip bounced back." But this feels different. This feels planned. The unease is shared across casino staff, waitresses, bellhops, and dealers alike. Long stretches of empty hours, reduced shifts, and falling wages are common experiences. Data supports their observations. Hotel occupancy rates have dropped sharply, leaving entire floors unused. Resorts that once operated at 90% capacity struggle to reach 50%. Restaurants that required reservations days in advance now accept walk-ins instantly. Conventions, once a major source of revenue, show blank weeks with no major bookings. Some attribute the emptiness to rising costs. A mid-level hotel night can now top $300, with resort fees pushing it higher. Parking fees have jumped to $25 per day. Even buffets, once the symbol of affordable Vegas, now cost $60 to $80 per person. For families, Las Vegas no longer feels accessible. Others cite safety concerns. News stories of scams, robberies, and tourists feeling unsafe after dark have spread fear. International travel has slowed, particularly from China, which once fueled billions in spending. Still, the emptiness seems too deliberate to be explained by costs or travel habits alone. Employees speak of unspoken rules. Entire casino sections closed, shows paused despite demand. "We don't understand it, but they say it's temporary, part of a bigger reset," one bartender claims. From the public's view, fewer tourists and shorter lines make Vegas appear to be struggling. But insiders suspect a strategy hides behind this quiet. Financial figures reveal another odd pattern. While tourism revenue dips, profits for major casinos remain stable or even rise. How is this possible? Global operations may explain it. Losses on the Strip are balanced by income from Macau, Singapore, and online platforms. For the biggest players, Vegas isn't about filling rooms. It's about creating scarcity and repositioning for future profits. Whispers of a deliberate emptiness circulate. Locals notice the strange coordination. The Strip appears to struggle, yet corporations thrive. Tourists are told high prices explain the emptiness, but employees suspect the real reason: fewer people spending more rather than more people spending less. For residents, the impact is serious. Bartenders, drivers, and performers, the people who built Vegas, are being sidelined. And then the former mayor spoke. Their revelation shocked the public. The empty streets, the quiet casinos, the missing tourists. It was all intentional. They described closed-door meetings from the early 2000s where city officials, casino executives, and Wall Street investors planned the Strip's future. At the time, Vegas was thriving, but the old model, millions spending modestly, was deemed unsustainable. They wanted fewer people spending far more. The former mayor called it a controlled burn, designed to remove the old and prepare the city for a wealthier, more exclusive clientele. This explained the mystery locals had noticed: empty towers, canceled shows, and strong corporate profits. Scarcity was deliberate. The city was being reshaped. Politics played a role too. Decisions about new resorts, foreign investments, and fees weren't for public benefit. They were for a select few at the top. For ordinary residents, the admission was painful. Rising rents, shorter hours, and shrinking incomes weren't side effects. They were intended. Families and small businesses were expendable. Wall Street and overseas investors helped engineer this transformation. Vegas was being tailored not for everyone, but for those with money and influence. Old policies now made sense. Mid-tier resorts demolished, buffets closed, new mega projects announced while old properties sat empty. The emptiness wasn't failure. It was preparation. Even as the Strip lies quiet, the story of Las Vegas is far from over. The city that once promised everyone a chance to play, win, and escape is now being redesigned. Streets are empty, shows run half full, and longtime workers struggle to survive. But the corporations behind the scenes are not just surviving, they are thriving. And behind this transformation lies a plan so calculated that every empty hotel floor, every unbooked room, and every quiet sidewalk seems purposeful. The city's transformation is not about luck, crime, or inflation. It's about control. And as the former mayor revealed, this control was written into Las Vegas years before the public noticed. The Strip's emptiness is deliberate, a reset designed to replace the everyday tourist with a wealthier, more exclusive crowd. For the first time in decades, the story of Las Vegas is being told not as a city of endless excitement, but as a city being quietly rewritten. The questions now are clear. Who benefits from this emptiness? Who loses? And what does the future hold for the city that once never slept? Who wins? When Vegas stands empty. The emptiness of Las Vegas isn't just a mystery, it's a strategy. And when we ask who stands to benefit, the answer becomes clear. The winners are not the tourists, the bartenders, or the small businesses. They are the megacorporations, international investors, and a handful of wealthy elites who control the Strip from behind the scenes. The biggest beneficiaries are the giant casino companies, MGM Resorts, Caesars Entertainment, and a few others. For years, these companies relied on millions of visitors spending modest amounts. Now, the plan has shifted. Fewer visitors are allowed to fill the Strip, but each one spends more. The illusion of scarcity makes luxury suites, high-stakes tables, and private salons feel exclusive, desirable, and worth paying top dollar for. Empty floors, half-booked rooms, and quiet streets no longer hurt profits, they enhance them. These companies have also diversified globally. While Las Vegas sees fewer tourists, profits from Macau, Singapore, Dubai, and online gambling platforms continue to flow. The Strip, once the lifeblood of their business, is now a billboard, a symbol of luxury exclusivity and a tool to attract the ultra-wealthy. Empty Vegas isn't a failure, it's an asset, a way to reset the market while keeping control firmly in corporate hands. Next, Wall Street investors are quietly cashing in. Properties once worth billions are now available at discounts, and hedge funds and private equity firms are buying prime real estate at fire sale prices. For them, Every empty casino floor, every quiet sidewalk, and every half-booked hotel is an opportunity. This controlled clearance allows them to push out smaller operators and consolidate control under a few powerful entities. Foreign investors also see an opportunity. Las Vegas is being repositioned as a playground for global elites. Asian and Middle Eastern billionaires are stepping in to buy into projects and properties. Where families once lined up for affordable buffets, private high-roller salons are being built. Where tourists once filled theaters, exclusive shows now cater only to clients who can wager millions in a single night. The city's new image is luxury, exclusivity, and power, and the ordinary visitor is left out. For the everyday worker, the consequences are severe. Bartenders, dealers, taxi drivers, and street performers, the people who gave Vegas its character, see their incomes shrink. Crowded tables and heavy tips have disappeared. Small vendors and local shops, once thriving on tourist spillover, face closures. Rising rents, disappearing tips, and fewer shifts are not mistakes. They are intended. The emptiness is a filter, pushing out anyone who doesn't fit the new, elite-focused model. Even some iconic casinos have vanished. Properties like the Tropicana, with decades of history, are now shuttered or demolished. Their land is sold to developers promising luxury mega projects for the wealthy. What was once accessible to everyone is now designed for a select few. Real estate developers benefit too. Slower tourism and fluctuating property values allow them to buy land cheaply. Plans are already underway for luxury condos, private resorts, and high-end entertainment complexes that cater to the global elite. Empty streets give developers space to build without pressure from the millions who once crowded Vegas. Political leaders also gain control. A quieter strip allows officials to manage, monitor, and restructure the city without public scrutiny. By framing the changes as safety or crowd control measures, they maintain the illusion that decisions are for the public's benefit. In reality, these decisions prioritize corporations and investors. The irony is stark. Las Vegas once prided itself on inclusivity. Anyone could come, anyone could play, anyone could win. Now, the new Vegas is the opposite. Gates, velvet ropes, and private rooms dominate the landscape. Scarcity and exclusivity are the rules. The emptiness is intentional, a tool to separate the everyday visitor from the wealthy elite. The former mayor's admission confirms this. The emptiness is only the beginning. It is a filter, a preparation for a city that will welcome only those who fit a new vision. The streets are quieter, the neon glow brighter but lonelier, and the city's character is changing in ways few expected. Tourists complain they are priced out. Workers struggle more than ever. Yet corporations report strong profits. The disconnect is intentional. The strip is being remade, and those behind it know exactly what they are doing. And the question of power becomes unavoidable. Who decided the city should look like this? The former mayor points to a web of influence. Casino executives, political leaders, Wall Street investors, and foreign buyers. Decisions that once seemed random, demolishing certain resorts, closing buffets, delaying shows, were part of a calculated strategy to reshape Las Vegas for the ultra-wealthy. The new Las Vegas and its hidden future. In this transformation, ordinary residents and smaller businesses are expendable. Families who relied on the strip for income, local shops that thrived on tourists, and workers who spent decades building the city's reputation, none of them are central to the new plan. Scarcity and quiet are designed to thin the crowd, push out weaker operators, and consolidate wealth in fewer hands. Even policies that angered residents make sense in hindsight. Why allow mid-tier resorts to be demolished while new mega projects are announced? Why keep luxury developments going while old properties remain half-empty? Why charge more for parking, buffets, and shows? All these moves support the same goal: fewer visitors, higher spending, and more control for the powerful. The consequences ripple far beyond the strip. Local workers face lower wages and less reliable employment. Small businesses close. Neighborhoods once thriving on tourism struggle. But for corporations and investors, this is a victory. For the wealthy, this is opportunity. For the city itself, it is a transformation that few outsiders see coming. The former mayor also explained the connection to the wider financial world. Major Wall Street firms and overseas investors, especially those tied to Macau and other international gambling hubs, played a key role in planning the Strip's transformation. Las Vegas has always reflected global power, and now its emptiness is proof. The quiet streets, the half-booked hotels, the canceled shows, they are all designed to benefit a select few. As the mayor's words spread, residents began to see patterns they had previously ignored. Why were certain hotels left empty even with demand? Why were once iconic buffets permanently closed? Why did new luxury projects appear while smaller, historic resorts disappeared? Everything now pointed to the same truth. The emptiness was intentional, part of a larger strategy to remake the city for a wealthier clientele. Some locals called the mayor brave for speaking out. Others accused them of deflecting blame. But the facts matched what people were seeing on the ground. The Strip was quieter. Workers were struggling. Luxury developments were thriving. And behind it all, major corporations continued to profit. This leads to an unavoidable question. What comes next for Las Vegas? If the emptiness is engineered, what is the ultimate goal? Who else has been shaping the city behind closed doors? And how much more will the city change before ordinary residents, small business owners, and average tourists are pushed out completely? The future of Las Vegas is no longer about entertainment for all. It is about power, control, and exclusivity. The Strip is being filtered to favor the wealthy. Ordinary families and casual visitors are being left behind. Billionaires, corporations, and foreign investors are stepping into the void created by planned emptiness. Las Vegas, the city that once promised anyone could play and win, is now being redesigned to decide who even gets a seat at the table. Scarcity and quiet aren't problems, they are tools. The city is being rebuilt deliberately for a different class of visitor. The neon lights still shine, the slot machines still spin, but the streets are quieter. Shows run to smaller crowds. Hotels remain half empty. And the message is clear. Las Vegas has changed. The former mayor's confession confirms it is no accident. The emptiness is a reset, designed by the powerful for the powerful, while everyone else is left to watch. The final question lingers, and it is as haunting as the quiet Strip itself. Will the world accept this new Las Vegas? Or will the silence finally spark a backlash, revealing the full scope of a city reshaped in secret? Only time will tell. For those eager to uncover more hidden truths behind America's most iconic cities, this is just the beginning. The secrets of Las Vegas in 2025 remind us that appearances can be deceiving. And sometimes, the quietest streets tell the loudest stories. The transformation of Las Vegas is not complete. The emptiness we see is just the start of a bigger plan. The city is being rebuilt for a new type of visitor, one with wealth, influence, and exclusivity. Ordinary tourists, local families, and small business owners are being pushed out. The Strip's silence is intentional, a filter designed to preserve power and maximize profits. For decades, Las Vegas was a place for everyone. Now, it is being designed for a select few. The billion-dollar corporations, Wall Street investors, and foreign buyers are quietly taking control. The ordinary workers, small businesses, and families who once built and supported the Strip are left behind. The city's emptiness, now confirmed by the former mayor, reveals a stark reality. Las Vegas is no longer just a city of entertainment. It is a city of power. The transformation has already begun, and the changes are visible everywhere, from quiet streets to half-empty hotels, from closed buffets to new luxury resorts. The final image is haunting. The Strip, once the beating heart of American entertainment, now stands quieter than ever. The neon lights glow over empty sidewalks. Slot machines spin in quiet rooms. The energy that defined Las Vegas for decades has been deliberately muted. But for those behind the scenes, this silence is exactly what they wanted. Las Vegas is no longer just a playground. It is a calculated machine, engineered to favor the wealthy, powerful, and elite. And for ordinary residents, workers, and tourists, the question remains: will the city they once knew ever return? Or has the new, exclusive Las Vegas arrived to stay? Enjoyed the story? Don't forget to like this video and share it with friends who love royal updates. It really helps us bring you more inside stories. Stories.